In the woods. Fade in. Exterior, road, day, midsummer. The scenery looks so perfect that it borders on the eerie. The colors too bright, the shadows too dark. Lucy, 9, clever but wild, walks angrily up the road. A cloud of dust appears. This contains Polly, 6, determined and wearing a stained pink dress. The girl's walk becomes a passive-aggressive race. Lucy will be damned if she lets her sister catch up to her. A huge house appears as if from the head haze. The sisters sprint towards it. Exterior, Grandma's house, continuous. The house is white and the windows are lifeless.
You're going to stay in the house with Grandma, okay?
I want to play with Cousin Maggie.
Lucy shushes her. Are Maggie and Grandma listening?
No, Maggie doesn't want to play with little kids.
Lucy stiffens as a girl comes around to the side of the house. Maggie, 13, sad-eyed and at the cusp of puberty, stands looking at them. She wears hand-me-downs.
Hi, Maggie.
Lucy goes to hug her cousin.
I didn't know Polly was coming.
Dad made me take her. I told her she was to stay with Grandma.
No, that's okay. She can play with us.
Maggie leads them around the house, too. Exterior, field and garden, continuous. They stand on a hill overlooking an overgrown wheat field and an old forest. There are stone circles made up of little pebbles all over the hill. Lucy goes to one.
What were you playing?
Background. Polly launches herself down the hill, squealing with delight.
I wasn't.
Lucy sits down next to Maggie.
Hey, I read King Arthur in school, and I knew everything already because you told me last summer.
Maggie does not appear to be listening. Lucy tries again.
Maybe we can get your dolls, or...
This time, Lucy tries to sound adult.
It took us 6 hours to drive up yesterday. There was an accident on the highway. Mom said not to look, but...
Maggie's face darkens. Lucy remembers that this is not a good conversation topic.
Never mind. I think everyone was okay, though. What are these for?
She hastily points to the stone circles.
I made them for the fairies.
Background. Polly rushes up the hill.
Real fairies?
This is too embarrassing for Lucy.
No, stupid. Not real fairies, right?
Of course, real fairies.
Lucy is about to speak, but trails off, not wanting to be wrong. Polly's eyes are wide.
You've seen real fairies?
Just a few times.
Really real fairies?
Cross my heart. They live all around here.
I've never seen...
I couldn't tell you last summer because I thought you'd be scared.
Lucy feels ashamed.
I'm not scared of fairies.
Of course, you'll be safe if you're with me.
Lucy's trying to seem tough and worldly.
Of course.
Polly looks enraptured.
Would you like to see them?
Polly can barely contain herself.
Yes, 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 yes.
Shut up, Polly. Can we really?
Maggie starts to run. Lucy runs after her. Polly follows.
Might be a little scary.
Maggie keeps running, going in a big, loose circle. Lucy follows easily. Polly's legs are too short to keep up.
You'll have to do exactly what I say, okay?
The two older girls are keeping pace. Polly finally falls and sits there looking close to tears. Maggie goes to her.
Don't worry, pretty Polly. We'll take care of you.
Lucy glares over Maggie's back at Polly.
Or you can go in and watch TV with Grandma.
Maggie straightens suddenly.
She doesn't want to.
Maggie helps Polly to her feet and puts an arm around her. Lucy is very jealous.
Fairies love little kids, so if she comes, they'll definitely show up.
This is said with such authority that Lucy nods as though she understands.
So, where do we look for them?
Polly goes to investigate a stone circle. Lucy tugs her arm.
Wait,
Maggie paces around the border of the garden.
She can look in there. They never come to the garden. I've tried.
so how do we find them?
Maggie hops onto a large rock. Her bare feet dance on its hot surface.
Well, first we have to make sure they'll want to see us.
Lucy grins. This is a game, after all.
They don't want to see Polly.
Polly pouts.
They know she picks her nose.
Maggie does not laugh.
I don't think that will bother them.
Maggie suddenly grins at Polly. She hops as her feet get hotter. Lucy pouts.
What are you doing?
Letting them know that I'm coming. They can see me from the woods.
Maggie picks up Polly and swings her around.
Should I do it too?
Maggie hops down, dropping Polly, who says, "Wee!"
No, just wait here. And then we'll go to the big fairy ring.
Maggie disappears into the house. Lucy glares at Polly.
She's only being nice to you because she's nice.
Polly looks up, confused and pouting.
Lulu.
Don't call me that.
Polly tries to hold Lucy's hand. Again, Lucy pulls away.
You just better not ruin this.
I want to see the fairies.
You pretend.
Maggie said.
This is a game.
But
Me and Maggie are playing a game, and you just better not start crying when we don't find any fairies, okay?
As she says this, Maggie comes out of the house. She wears a very old backpack with Lisa embroidered on it. Polly runs over and grabs Maggie's hand.
Lucy said the fairies aren't real.
Lucy rolls her eyes.
Do you believe in them?
Polly nods vigorously.
That's all they need.
The trio sets off into the woods.
That'll do.
Exterior, edge of the woods, day. The woods are both spooky and enchanting. Their shadows appear pitch black, then dappled light luminous. The girls stand on the edge of the woods. Lucy glances back at the house, which now looks impossibly bright and far away. Maggie notices.
Don't worry, they can't see into the woods from the house.
Did you tell Grandma where we're going?
Maggie walks into the woods. She drags Polly, willingly, along.
Well, she doesn't care. We won't get in trouble.
Come on, Lulu.
Lucy gives her a death glare, but follows them. They all have to watch where they walk. Tree roots, rocks, and wet leaves abound.
And you know the way?
Of course. Stay near me.
They keep walking. The outside world is soon lost to view. Exterior, woods, day, continuous. The girls walk past a tree growing out of a rock. Maggie is humming tunelessly.
What is that song?
It's pretty.
Maggie pauses and looks at them for a moment.
Sometimes I hear it from the woods when I'm trying to sleep.
Lucy makes a wow face. Polly squeals.
What does Grandma say it is?
She's too deaf to hear it. Or maybe she just can't.
They walk and Maggie keeps humming.
Sometimes I hear words with it.
Polly stops to look at a flower. Maggie gives her hand a tug. Lucy knows a cue when she hears one.
What are the words like?
The rarest kind of tropical flower blooms and dies within an hour. Fragile beauty held forever in the doorway to the next world. Sleep like they cannot find you. Move like they cannot bind you. Let us keep you deep, deep down in our green and fragrant bower.
It's fairly obvious that Maggie is improvising a little.
What does it mean?
What do you think it means?
They walk, pondering this.
It means that they want you to come here, right?
Maggie nods. The woods are getting thicker with trees. There are little mushrooms. There are little mushrooms growing out of moss.
Let's stop here.
She kneels, pulls up moss, mushrooms, and the leaves of little plants. She motions for the others to do the same.
Okay, now you need to smash it all together.
Lucy is delighted. She mashes it until it's a green pulpy mess.
Like this?
That's perfect.
Maggie takes Polly's palms between her own to rub them vigorously until both are gloppy and green.
Here.
Lucy laughs at Polly's look of gleeful disgust. Maggie smirks at her. Lucy pretends to run her hands across her face.
Yeah, like that.
Maggie runs her green hands down the sides of her face.
This is so they won't be too startled by us.
Suddenly, Maggie draws a line across Polly's face. Lucy instinctively reaches out and smears her hand across Maggie's forehead. Maggie jabs Lucy in the chin. All the girls laugh and swat at each other until their faces are tinted green. Exterior, woods, day, slightly later. Lucy walks along an old stone trail.
I'm hungry.
Then go back to Grandma's and Maggie and I will tell you about the fairies.
No.
Maggie grabs Polly by her shoulders and spins her around roughly. Polly squeals.
Hey!
Be careful what you eat in the woods. It's all fairy food.
Lucy jumps off the wall.
Yeah, it'll be yucky.
No, fairy food is the most delicious food in the whole world.
She points to a bush with little red berries.
See those? They look good, right?
Polly tilts her head. Lucy shrugs.
I guess.
But if you eat just one of them, you have to stay here forever.
She picks a berry.
Are you still hungry, pretty Polly?
She holds the berry out to her.
Maybe we should.
Nah.
Would it be so bad?
She's still holding the berry out.
Mom would be mad.
Maggie drops the berry.
But if we ate them, she would never find us.
I'm not really hungry anymore.
So stop whining. Do you want to scare the fairies?
They continue walking.
I brought some trail mix.
Exterior, woods, day, continuous. The girls sit under a huge tree and eat trail mix.
Are there any fairies here?
Right here?
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Polly jerks her neck around to see them.
But they're invisible.
Lucy snorts at Polly's chagrin.
Hi, fairies! Do you want trail mix?
Now Maggie laughs too. Polly sets up a little meal of trail mix on a tuft of moss.
We'll be able to see them when we get to the big fairy ring.
That's not too far away, right?
Like 15 minutes, I think.
And you know the way?
Yeah, of course.
Dad's going to pick us up at 5:30.
Maggie looks a little annoyed. Lucy backs off.
We'll still have plenty of time to play at the fairy circle.
Yay!
Lucy makes a little cheering motion. She and Polly both smile at Maggie. Finally, Maggie smiles. Lucy beams and looks around. The woods are surreal and eerie.
Okay, let's go.
Polly is still arranging the trail mix offering.
Come on, Polly.
She helps Polly up and dusts her off. The three girls disappear into the woods. Exterior, woods, day, 10 minutes later. They come to a deep gulch leading to a brook. Maggie stops them.
You know, sometimes fairies steal babies.
Why?
Maggie kneels down and opens her bag. Lucy is unable to see what's inside.
Don't worry, no one wants to steal you.
Maggie pulls out a tiny Swiss Army knife.
And so the parents don't look for the baby, they leave a little fairy that looks like it behind.
As she says this, she cuts off a little lock of her hair.
But as the fairy baby gets older, Lucy,
Maggie gestures and finally pulls a little strand from under Lucy's ponytail.
it stops looking to the parents like their child.
Lucy makes a face, but lets her hair be cut.
And not just parents, grandparents too, and the aunts and uncles, and sooner or later no one knows who the child is. You too, pretty Polly.
Polly seems far too willing. Lucy pouts.
And the fairy child just has to hope that the other fairies come for it before no one on earth knows who it is anymore.
Lucy tries to nod, but starts shaking her head. She stops.
Polly, you can't tell Mom about this, okay?
Polly nods solemnly.
No, you have to promise.
Polly nods again and extends her little hand, pinky out. Maggie gathers the hair into a bundle and lays it on a rock. She takes out a matchbook and sets the hair on fire. It fizzles. Polly gets a face full of smoke and coughs. Lucy pats her.
So, they know her smell.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Maggie begins to scramble down the gulch. Lucy follows. It's slippery and treacherous. She's about to stop, but Polly has begun the descent as well. Maggie clearly has done this before and quickly outstrips the others. Polly's foot catches on a tree root. She loses her hold and falls forward.
Polly!
Lucy lunges and grabs the back of Polly's dress. Maggie dodges the falling rocks and dirt, but does not turn to help them.
Be careful, it's a little steep.
Lucy and Polly hang on a root. Polly grabs another handhold. Lucy helps Polly the rest of the way down. Maggie is already at the edge of the brook.
Oh, good, you're okay.
Yeah.
I want to go home.
Both older girls turn to her.
How long the fairy circle, Maggie?
Not long, 15 minutes.
Yeah, but you said that 15 minutes ago.
Maggie hops over the brook and begins to climb the smaller hill to the other bank.
This time I mean it.
Exterior, woods, day, later. The woods are very dark. It is unclear if it is much later or if the trees are thicker. Maggie holds a flashlight.
My feet hurt.
Are we lost, Maggie?
Maggie does not turn.
No, we're almost there.
15 minutes?
What's that supposed to mean?
I think Polly and me are going back to Grandma's.
Go ahead, but without me, you won't get out in time, and then you'll be in trouble.
Polly whimpers.
This isn't fun anymore.
Maggie stiffens.
It's not supposed to be fun. It's magic.
Take us home.
Maggie turns too quickly, pointing the flashlight straight at Lucy's eyes. Lucy flinches and backs away. Maggie takes a step away from the other two, swinging the flashlight around.
I wish I could have done this when I was little.
She turns off the flashlight, plunging them into relative darkness. Polly shrieks.
Polly!
There's a grunt and the sound of something being thrown.
What was that?
Did you hear where it landed?
What was it?
The flashlight.
Maggie?
Hang on to the back of my shirt.
Lucy obeys, and with her other hand she grabs Polly. They move swiftly through the woods. Twigs clutch at them like fingers. Suddenly, a light. The three girls emerge into exterior, clearing, day, continuous. The clearing is fairly well lit. The light has a tinge of late afternoon. In the center of the clearing, the crumbling stones of an old farmhouse. All that remains is the old cellar, a 6-foot drop onto hard-packed dirt and rocks. Polly cheers. Maggie grins. Lucy makes herself smile.
Why?
It's part of the ritual, so they know we won't question them.
Can you see the flashlight?
That doesn't matter anymore.
Lucy's about to respond, but she sees that Polly has wandered over to the stones.
Be careful.
She's fine.
The two older girls join Polly. She's staring into the cellar.
See any fairies?
She can't see them yet.
Oh, I think I see them.
Maggie comes very close and looks over her shoulder.
No, you can't.
I'm pretending.
Maggie leans over to her.
We didn't come here to pretend.
Show us real fairies.
Maggie smiles at her with everything but her eyes.
I will, but first we have to complete the ritual.
Fine, then you have to take us home.
After we're done, we'll all go home.
She extends her pinky and they swear.
Okay, Lucy, you stand over on that side of the wall.
Maggie arranges herself and Polly so that the three girls form a rough triangle around the cellar. Maggie begins to hum.
Shh, pretty Polly. Climb up on the stones.
Polly begins to obey.
Don't do that.
Polly stops.
Shh, Lucy, shh.
Maggie goes over to Polly and lifts her onto the stones.
She's going to fall.
Lucy runs towards them.
Of course she is.
What?
She's going to fall through to the fairy world.
We're going home.
This is my home. Please, Lucy. They like little girls. They'll take her, I promise, and then they'll finally take me back.
As she says this, she prevents Polly from climbing down, holding her shoulders.
Stop it.
Lucy pulls Polly down from the stones and places herself firmly between her and Maggie.
Please, Lucy.
Lucy begins to back herself and Polly away.
Grandma doesn't know who I am anymore.
Maggie grabs her.
If we don't go now, you'll forget too.
Fairies aren't real.
Lucy shoves Maggie harder than she intended. Maggie loses her balance and falls into the cellar head first. Lucy and Polly, horrified, run to the lip of the cellar. All they see is a dirt wall leading to bottomless darkness. Suddenly a light appears from the unseen floor of the cellar. The lost flashlight, or POV from the cellar to the sisters' faces. Lucy and Polly looking terrified at something we cannot see. Fade to black.